Oh, it's KleverThumbs.
Oh shit, here we go.
Bro, that's the guy I was telling you I was watching the videos. I'm pretty sure. That's the same.
Oh yeah, he's a YouTuber? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Nice.
Hey, brother.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, watch
I'm
this
pretty
shit.
sure that's him. It says KleverThumbs.
Hey, man.
KleverThumbs, yeah.
Hey, listen, bro. You buy some merch, bro? We'll leave you alone. We won't kill y'all, bro.
This guy. Yeah, that's me, bro. That's me.
If you want to kill me, but hey,
I was about to kill y'all. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't do that shit, man. We watch the fucking videos.
Zombie apocalypse.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your man KleverThumbs, and I'm back with another Division 2 build video. Now, this is actually going to be two build videos in one. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible, but before we jump right into this, smash that like button if you guys do like the content, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, and definitely turn on that notification bell if you do proceed to follow those steps. But I will be streaming here shortly, so if you guys do happen to see this beforehand, I'm probably going to be streaming. I'm back to my normal schedule for now, so I'm going to be doing a lot more streams. I'll try to, at least throughout the weekdays, keep y'all entertained and stuff, whatnot. On the road to 3,000 subscribers, let's get it. So this is actually the build video to the most recent PvP gameplay when I was fighting that multi-group. Like I said, I was using two different builds. This is one of them right here, and this is 80,000 armor regen right here. I have about 85% bleed resistance. This build is pretty good overall. As you guys can see, I'm rocking 3-piece Gila, 2-piece Golem, 1-piece Murakami. If you guys aren't familiar with that setup, I'm going to explain to you why I have it the way I do. But let's jump right into this. First of all, you guys want to run Survivalist. If you're going to do this my way, you guys can tweak this up however you guys want. Survivalist is going to give you that med kit bonus for you and your allies as long as they're within a certain amount of range. Don't quote me on it. We can probably go take a look at it here shortly, but I think it's like 10, somewhere between 10 and 20 meters. I want to say it's probably 10 meters. Anybody within 10 meters, pop a kit. Your whole teammate gets a kit. All teammates, doesn't matter. Best part is I'm running efficient and I have adrenaline rush. If you guys aren't familiar with all that stuff, let's break it down for you. But let's begin. So like I said, Survivalist is what you guys want. For the guns, if you guys, excuse me, you guys can probably go whatever route you want. I chose Lady Death just because it's a good little gun. It's SMG. I've always been a fan of SMGs, and it does pretty decent damage even if you don't have that much damage stacked into it. But for the secondary, Super 90, shotgun damage to armor, damage to targets out of cover is what it comes with. 12, 7, and 10. In sync. If you guys aren't familiar with in sync, hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 15% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So you pretty much shoot somebody and drop a skill that damages, and you pretty much have in sync active, which is going to give me 30% extra weapon damage on here, which is going to help. You know, I have 0 reds on here. This is all pretty much blues. It should be 6 blues for the core attribute and 15 regular attribute for the blues instead of 14. But jump right into this. So the mask is a Gila. If you guys don't know, the 3-piece gives you 5% total armor, 10% health, 1% armor regen. So pay attention to this. This is pretty much when I'm getting focused, I throw on this build right here, and I pretty much do the dance, and everybody around me as my teammates will take care of the people who are trying to focus me and whatnot. But armor on here, max armor is what you want, max hazard, max armor regen. You want max hazard and armor regen on pretty much every single piece. Now you're probably gonna go, well, I don't have any damage. Well, that's why I have my skills to help me do the work and do a little bit of crowd control, and I can help out my team and pretty much the last one standing alive, worst comes to worst. But like I said, hazard protection, armor regen on everything. Again, for the chest piece, same thing, max armor regen. If I could put max hazard, I would. Bleed resistance mod, you guys can use whatever you want there. With the new patch, you guys are going to be able to put whatever you want there anyways. But for the talent efficient, if you guys aren't familiar with this is pretty OP back in the day. It still is, so don't sleep on it. This efficient still works, especially when you're popping medkits for your teammates left and right. So that's why I have it. For the Survivalist, I have pretty much 4 medkits could be 20 medkits for all you know, if you get lucky, and you know. But efficient is really good to go. You can go unbreakable, whatever you want. You can do intimidate, adrenaline rush, whatever you want to do. This is the way I want it set up, and efficient is definitely going to help out my teammates a lot. If you guys didn't pay attention in the video, I was popping medkits left and right. And now, Survivalist medkits do not last 10 seconds like Firewall. I believe they only last about 5 seconds. It doesn't say how long it lasts, but they're pretty short. By the time you realize that you don't even have a medkit, probably gonna have to pop another one. But that's why I got this build set up. It's definitely gonna help my teammates out, especially when I'm always getting focused, like I said. But for the for the golem pieces, 2-piece gives you 10% status effect. The second piece gives you 1% armor regen. So I'm getting 1% from the Gilla, 1% from the golem. Of course, we're gonna get right into the knee pads. But max armor regen, max hazard, like I said. The knee pads, max armor, 1% armor regen if you use Emperor's Guard, and then hazard protection, of course. And for the gloves as well, max armor regen, and 10% hazard, of course. You want everything maxed out. Like I said, you guys could probably do whatever you want. You could put hazard with crit damage, or armor regen with crit damage, or whatever you guys want to use. I chose to go full tank, you know what I mean, because I definitely need it every now and then, especially when I'm the main center of the stage. That's always fun. But for the backpack is max armor for the core attribute. If I could put max armor regen there, I would. 8.3 status effects. If I could put hazard there, I would. For my mods, it's bleed resistance, so that's how I get the 85% bleed resistance. But other than that, this build's at 55 hazard, 80k armor regen. I'm gonna show you the stats. Before we do that, the talent is adrenaline rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, you gain 10% bonus armor for 5 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times, so you can get it to a total of 30% bonus armor of 1.9 million. If you guys haven't done the math to that, it's pretty much 30%. It's 1/3 of 2 million, which is not too bad. It definitely shows, and the build, it doesn't have the damage, but definitely has the survivability. For my talents, for my skills, sorry, I'm using the hive just to slow people down. Not everybody's rocking hazard protection. Everybody's rocking 1.1 million with DPS, and or they're rocking another tank build. But as long as I get to put you on Stinger Hive one time, that definitely slows down your movement. Your sprinting gets doled down a little bit, not too much, but it definitely makes people think twice about what their next move is going to be, as well as the riot foam. The riot foam, you guys already know, if you're entering the dark zone, you're either going to get hit by this, or you're going to be using this to hit somebody else. But I'd rather have it on me, prevent it all. But this is the build right here. Let me show you the stats. Also for my gun does have, oh wait, it wasn't this build, I'll show you, it's on the next build. But this build right here, 80,000 armor regen, 55, 56 hazard, and 83 bleed. That's where my 3 mods come in. But this is pretty much one of the builds that I was using. 1.9 million. This is a pretty good setup to have as a good defense. You guys probably put Vanguard there if you want to switch it up, but this is my other build that I was rocking right here as well. 3-piece Golan, 1-piece Petrov for, I'll tell you why, the Emperor's Guard, and the fire holster. You guys probably going, wow, I haven't seen that fire holster in a long time. Everybody's like, that's a toxic exotic piece right there. I'll tell you what, my next build video, you guys are going to be knocked out, because I actually came up with the most perfect build. But I'm going to show you these 2 builds first before I release that one. Let's get the hype, the momentum going. I'm going to be streaming, I'm going to be using that build. The build that I'm talking about right now is amazing, but this build is just as good. Let's just say I perfected it. But 3-piece Golan, if you guys aren't familiar with that, 10% status effect, 1% armor regen, 5% total armor. Again, survivalist, so you can pop medkits for your team. You guys put whatever you want there. You can pop firewall if you want to. That's actually what I should do for this build. For the other build, I should just keep survivalist, but my first impressions of this build was to keep my teammates alive by putting people on status effects, and then I decided to just go armor regen with hazard instead. So this build right here, max armor for the core attribute on the mask. If I could put max armor regen there, I would. Max status effects, I would. Skill haste is what I want to put on there. It's totally up to you what you wouldn't put. Skill duration, that just makes your hive last longer and stuff like that on the floor. It doesn't make the bleed longer or anything like that, but I chose to go skill haste. For the chest piece, if I could put max armor on there, I would, but I have 157k, 10% status effect, and 4,000 armor regen. If I could max all that out, that would be perfect. For the talents, Unbreakable. If you guys aren't familiar with this, whenever your armor is depleted, I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with this, you gain 50% of your armor. Why am I saying in different numbers? Because if you hit the left thumbstick or whatever it is for you guys where it says view PvE stats or view PvP stats, and you come over here and you realize that 50%. So this is definitely going to save me, especially when I have 1.7 million armor. I get half of that back. That's 850 pretty much armor back just from breaking my armor to begin with. So that's probably why I should run Firewall. Just giving you little tips and tricks. Now for the holster, you guys aren't familiar with this, they actually did switch it up. I'm going to read it to you. While in combat and after maintaining line of sight for 3 seconds, applies burn to the enemy closest to you within 20 meters. And the cooldown is 35 seconds. If you guys did not know, if you actually put a lot of skill haste into this, your 35-second timer actually goes down. I can't exactly tell you how much, but I've seen that thing come back in 20 seconds. So you can proc Dragon's Glare in 20 seconds if you had skill haste on everything or whatever the case may be. But pretty much you don't have to ADS them. You don't have to look at them like down the barrel of your gun, you know, with one eye open, one eye closed type of deal. But just literally have the guy that you want to catch on fire in front of your screen. As long as he's on your screen displayed, he's going to catch on fire within 3 seconds. Now, if you're chasing somebody and is cutting corners actually resets the timer on this. So remember that. Keep that in mind. If you're probably like, oh, this exotic holster's not working. Well, buddy, you literally, this thing is so exact. You have to have direct line of sight of the guy. But that's how that works. For the knee pads, Emperor's Guard again, max armor, 1% armor regen, 7.7 hazards, the same exact piece that I also had on the other build. Now for the for the gloves, I actually have Contractors, which is max armor, max damage to armor, and max status effect. This is actually a beautiful piece that dropped for me, and I decided to put it to use. Wide damage to armor, that is because why the Contractors glove is actually for damage to armor. I'm going to tell you why. But before we do that, let's jump right into the backpack. The backpack is actually going to be where I get the 5% total armor towards the end of the brand set. So for the core attributes, it's 170k armor. Attributes is 10% skill damage, 10% status effect, and 11.1 skill haste. Now, Perfectly Wicked, if you guys aren't familiar with this, applying a status effect increases total weapon damage by 18% for 27 seconds. Now, I know this isn't amplified damage, but this is something. This is just as good as pretty much any other thing. You're just getting weapon damage. Let me give you a little tip. If you use the EMP pulse, because I'm rocking a decoy, if you use the jammer pulse and you jam a skill, even if they have 100% hazard protection and you break their skill, guess what? You're gonna proc Perfectly Wicked. So doesn't matter if they have hazard or not. You can proc this bad boy, no problem. All you have to do is just jam something. Shoot, you can even jam the NPC and proc this. Like, it's that simple. Literally, that's simple. Drop my hive. Most people don't have hazard, and if they do, they don't have 100% hazard. 100. I'm not talking about 90, 95, 96, 100%, because you can still bleed on that. I think you stop bleeding at 97%. But this is pretty much the other builder right here. It's really good. Like I said, jammer pulse. I like to use a decoy because I like to move around and, you know, have people wondering how much health I have left, and then by that time they don't even know I have Unbreakable or hides my Unbreakable, and I'm just gonna pretty much turn around and try my best to shred them because, like I said, I don't have a lot of DPS on this build either, but it definitely does shine in its areas and it does what it needs to do, and pretty much it's really good overall. Now for the critical hit chance, I don't have that much. I only have 50, which is pretty much base, but I do have 14% damage to armor, which is going to help me out in the long run, which is why I'm running Contractor's gloves. My armor regeneration is 42,000, which is pretty good. 42,000 was able to get me away from the situation, no problem. I was able to heal up all the way back up before my Unbreakable even broke, and it was pretty much good stuff. But this is one of my builds. Like I said, the bleed slows people down. I have the Lady Death. I have In Sync right here, ready to go. 30% extra damage. I have Unbreakable, Perfectly Wicked, and I got an exotic fire holster, which people hate. I'm telling you right now, people in the dark zone are hating on me because I'm rocking this. Oh, you're running that stupid exotic holster. Yes sir I am. It's called an exotic holster for a reason. It does something that no other piece does. But it's pretty much the build. Hope you guys really enjoy this. So this is 2 builds in 1. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support, for sticking around to the channel. Like I said, we're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. We're going to be there in no time. So if you guys do like the video, definitely smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification. Turn on that notification bell. Bleep. But yeah, man, this is your man KleverThumbs, and I'm signing out.